In today's show, I'm going to discuss the real reason why I'm running a 50 and 100 miler next year. Welcome to the Rise to Thrive show. I am your host, James Boorman. If you are coming through, please do let me know down below. Please let me know what your thoughts are. Please let me know if you can resonate with this or if there's anything that we can help you with in terms of moving forwards. Man, it is like literally fucking wild here this morning. I'm like in this little beach hut area here. It's probably the only place that's not blowing gale force winds, or my umbrella is not blowing away. Anyway, so listen, 2017 was the first year that I did my first 100 miler. And it's the year that I wrote my book, my first book, It's a State of Mind. I know some of you might have read that. If you haven't, go and check it out on Amazon. 2019 was the real push and drive when it came to, it was at the time the dad coach, which is now you know as the man coach, and real growth in that business. And it's no coincidence that during those 2 years, I got an awful lot done, not only in my personal, but professional life, parallel alongside me training for the 100 miler. Now, it seems that every 2 years, I seem to come along and want to do a 100 miler. And doing the distance isn't an issue. I love that 26 hour journey. I love just doing it. I love putting myself out there. I love the process and the build up from like where I started on Monday, which was day one training, and it's like an 8-month journey I'm on now, all the way through to June. And I'm confident that the show will go ahead by June, you know. And the real reason that I'm signing up to that, and I'm doing I've signed up to a 50 miler in April as well, is because I know that to be able to achieve that 100 miler, I've got to raise my game. Okay, I've got to raise my game physically. I've got to raise my game in terms of personal management, making sure I'm making time to be able to train for that race. And I know I've got to raise my game mentally and emotionally to keep up with it all. But what it does, it works as a catapult for me to raise my game in all other areas of my life. So if you think about the 4 pillars that I always talk to you guys about, they are the 4 pillars that I talk about in my book. So it's health, relationships, personal development, and business. Now what ends up happening is that when you raise your game in one particular area of your life, usually everything else follows. Because I'm a big believer in how you do anything is how you do everything. So if I'm having to 10x the way that I'm training, I'm eating, I'm looking after my body, I'm looking after my mental state, my emotional state, then I know it's going to raise my games in terms of making sure that my business is like thriving. We're at the very start of a brand new side hustle that I've started for business owners. And I know that's going to escalate very quickly next year. So that I'm naturally going to want to be escalating that and being fired up and being fit and being on my game more than ever. I know that in terms of making sure that I'm there for my daughter for her GCSEs. I know that I'm there for my boy in terms of him preparing for year 10. I know that I'm there for my little girl. I'm there for my missus. And I just become this like upgraded version of myself, because the outcome isn't achieving the 100 miles, guys. And this is the main point I want to make. Like, it's great that you get the medal. It's great that you get the picture and you get the achievement and running 100 miles. But what I get, which is much more valuable than any fucking medal or 26-hour race, is the upgrade in process, in action, in implementation, in self-awareness between now, last Monday when I started, right through to June. My whole game is about to go to a whole new level. And that is because I've got something that I'm aiming for that's going to bring it up. And that's what I want people to understand, that when you set goals, which is great, when you set outcomes, when you set you're going to do a race, It's not necessarily the completion of that race. It's not getting that medal. It's not getting across that finish line. That is just part and parcel. That's like a micro part of the achievement. That's like a tiny, small part. But think about if the people doing the London Marathon. Think about how much effort they put into their training, how much sharper they feel, how much healthier they feel, how much more focused they are at work. Think about when you train for anything. The whole process, the real win is the process. Is the level of action that you take that gets you to that start line. Everything, the preparation, the man you become or the woman you become, the identity that you create, the achievements that you build, the self-worth that you build, your self-esteem that you build, the confidence that you build. You can't take that away. It doesn't matter if you come last in the fucking race. The process to get you to that start line or you're in a position to tackle on whatever it is that you're doing, that is the fucking win. Because it gets you off your ass, it gets you showing up, it gets you on a path, it gives you clarity, consistency and control. And then you're fucking unstoppable. And I always have these level ups every 2 years. Next year, being the second year. Okay, since I've done it again, boom, leveling me up. Just when I need that level up. Okay, 100%. Enjoy the process. Love the process. Find something that's going to get you to that process. Not everybody's ready for a 100 miler. Your 10K could be the equivalent of my 100 mile. It's just a different level of conditioning. 6 years ago, the 10K was like, fucking hell, I can't believe it. When I was coming out of my dark chapter, my dark space, hadn't run for ages, hadn't really trained for a lot. 6 miles was a long way to me. But that process of doing that first 10K got me right here and emotionally and physically into a better place. And then you just build and build and build and build. And you never fucking stop until you stop breathing. Boom. See you Friday.